Hi everyone, it's Mr. Bree. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about DNA directionality today. It wasn't covered in the previous DNA video that you watched with Mr. Anderson. So, when we're talking about DNA, as you know, it has double-stranded. And so, you can see here we have one strand on this side and obviously another strand on the other side forming the double helix. The tricky part about this is you're going to run into some questions where you got to understand what the 5' and 3' end are and be able to identify them. And so I wanted to point that out to you in this video and then do a couple practice problems. So here we go. So when you're looking at the strand in red, you can see right here is the 5' end, and so that's the 5th carbon. It's actually not on the ring. This is an oxygen at the tip here, and so the 5' end is always going to be pointing off of that, and there'll be a phosphate here also, and so that's how you'll be able to identify the 5' end if it's not labeled. And then right here you can see this 3rd carbon is kind of hanging off the bottom here, and so that's what we call the 3' end. And that's all fine and good, but the tricky part to this is when we look at this other end, the 3 on the other side in the blue strand, you can see over here it's the opposite. And so down at the bottom here you can see we have the 5' end is actually on the opposite side of the 3' end of the red strand, and so we can see this is the 3' end with the hydroxyl group hanging off here. And so this idea that they run in opposite directions is sometimes called being anti-parallel. Okay, and so if we take a look at this one here, what if we look, let's look at this strand right here on this side. How would you know which end is the 5' end? Well, you got to look at the pentagon, and so here is the deoxyribose, and you can see this 5th carbon is right here and it's pointing up. We have a phosphate group on the very end. And so this is going to be the 5' end, which makes this end the 3' end. And so on the other side, you can see right here, you have the 5' end, and right here would be the 3' end. And so a typical problem would be something like this, where they would give you, alright, they'd say this is 5', and then they would say it goes A, T, G, C, T, A, 3'. And so you would just need to know, hey, look, this has got to be the 3' end, and A always pairs with T. Remember, apples in the tree. A, cars in the garage. So if this is a G, this is a C, or cytosine. G, A, T. And so this is an actual kind of a practice problem where they would give you one of the strands. In this case, it would probably be called the parent strand. And you would need to be able to tell me what is the daughter strand. And not only would you have to tell me what are the order of the letters, you need to tell me which end is which end is the 3' end and which end is the 5' end. So why don't you quickly pause the video and try to do this problem yourself. Okay, I'm going to do it for you and see how you did. So we can do this part really easy. And C, but remember these are going to go in opposite directions, so they're anti-parallel, so this will be the 3' end and this will be the 5' end. I hope that was helpful, and good luck.